Hi, and welcome everyone. Sorry I had a little technical glitch there. Again, welcome back to the Ignite Your Feminine Fire, Sparking Your Inner Flame with me, your host, Tanya Melendez, the Tarot Life Coach. So sorry about that little technical glitch. I hope everyone can hear me and is live here listening to the call. I know Google Hangout is something new and innovative, so that's why I posted a video so you could watch it. So let's go ahead and get started now that we're a few minutes behind. I really want to dive right in. So first things first, as I always start, we're going to go ahead and take it to prayer. Just breathing in good, breathing in grace, breathing in gratitude, breathing in all that is, knowing that all that is surrounds us, lifts us, supports us, loves us, nourishes us, heals us, forgives us, teaches us, and just knows us. And so I just release these words into the universe, knowing that we are supported and lifted, we are raised and praised by the Most High, and that our lives and our divine appointment is right here and right now. So I just open the arms of the good, of the grace, and of the prosperity and abundance, and health and vitality for each and every one of us. I know that each of us are divine and perfect spirits, emanations of the One. And so for this, I'm so grateful and so much more. I let it go, and so it is. So grateful and excited for tonight's Ignite Your Feminine Fire, Sparking Your Inner Flame, and how I got here. So first things first, a little bit about me and where I came from, what my spiritual journey has been, so I can get you to where you want to be, so you can connect with me and I can connect with you. So who am I? Who is Tanya Melendez, the Tarot Life Coach? Well, I started out just a few years ago, I want to say about 10 years ago, when I had really gotten on a spiritual path. I had been a young girl, always interested in tarot and astrology and all these different mystical things, but again, being a teenager, and again in the 70s and 80s, it wasn't a lot for me to really get my hands on, and I was a big bookworm. I'll tell you more about that. And so I really was reaching and always searching for something, and luckily my mother was also a seeker, because she took me and my brothers around to different churches. We went to Buddhist church, we went to a Muslim, she studied under Unity. She's also looked at all different types. So my mother was a seeker, and her energy of seeking also led me to my seeking path of looking for spiritual truth at a very early age. And so from that, I just grew and grew into that, into a bookworm. So then I had the spiritual part as a young child, and the psychic connection, which I'll also tell you a little bit more about, when I was very, very young. And I turned that into books, because I was able to find out information about things I didn't know about, and was able to really turn that love of books into something bigger. And from that, it really just ignited me on my spiritual path, and showing me, what angels are and what auras are, chakras, crystals, all these magical and wonderful things. So I thought, I didn't realize that they really are a part of the universe, and we are so blessed to have them in our lives. And so my spiritual journey began very early, and I was raised by a single mother, and also became a single mother myself at the age of 19. I was in college, so I also was able to really focus on higher level thinking, reading. I was an English major with creative writing, so again, that book energy has always followed me throughout my life. And so I really I studied. I was a good mom. I put all my attention into my daughter, into my studies, and then I went on to become a librarian, of course, with the books again following me. And so from the librarian, I decided to do that while my daughter was in school, so I could raise her. We had security, stability, that type of thing, because as a single mother, again, I was focused on her success as well as my success. And so I just kept going to school, and working in a school also kept me close to her in a lot of different ways. And so it was when she started high school that I started really getting into more of a spiritual path and doing things on a spiritual level, and started doing yoga and started doing lots of other different things, and was really about connecting my energy to as much as I could. I remember it was August, and I have to say it must be 2006, but it had Marianne Williamson on the cover of Science of Mind magazine. And you know, Marianne just ran for Congress. Unfortunately, she lost because she has a voice for the people, especially the spiritual people. But it was her message in that Science of Mind magazine that really shifted my energy and that pulled me into wanting to follow a more spiritual path. And I read that, you know, magazine from cover to cover, and then I found that they had Science of Mind churches, and they had one in Chicago, which is where I'm from. So I found the church and decided to go. And when I went, I was so welcomed and so loved and so, you know, just supported and embraced, that I knew the minute I got there the first time that I had found a spiritual family. And so I was with the Center for Spiritual Living Chicago, which then became CSL, which is now the Bodhi Spiritual Center in Chicago. From their very early beginnings, I helped start the church, and it really helped me, again, start my spiritual path. So it was such an amazing journey for me, and I had wonderful teachers, including Reverend Michael Beckwith, Reverend Cynthia James, Reverend Jennifer Hadley, of course, my favorite Reverend Mark Anthony Lord. I've, you know, have the guidance of Edwin Gaines, Sonia Choquette. So just so many wonderful things, you know, from being able to be really ingrained and walking the path of a spiritual teacher, a spiritual student, a spiritual seeker, a spiritual learner. And of course I had my ups and I had my downs. I made my mistakes, you know, and had to really work on forgiveness and letting go. But every time I learned something and allowed myself to elevate to the next level, and then to the next level, and then to the next level. And so I just kept going because something in me had been stirred, and it really opened my psychic sense. And when it opened my psychic sense, it really allowed me to express myself in ways I had never expressed myself before. And so, again, I'm just so grateful. I'm going to turn this a little bit so you can try to get a little more light. Okay, so my spiritual path really has always kept me moving forward, and I'm so grateful for that, because it has always been my support. It's always been my, you know, my love, my growth. And I remember when I had always wanted to travel, and I had just came back from living in Madrid, Spain, and it was freezing cold in Chicago, and I had this crazy thought to go to Key West. Now, I didn't really know anybody there, and I had no real support there, but something told me to go. And whenever I tell this story, people are always so shocked to hear, you know, what I did and what and how I lived in Key West, because it's such an amazing story. So I'll share it with you. I got to Key West, didn't have any place to stay, so I had found two people that would be supportive type friends for me, but not very much so. Key West was is a place where I again didn't know anybody, so I was just getting my bearings, but I had no idea about the way of the rent and, you know, roommate situation. So first thing I did was get myself a job, and I got myself a job at a restaurant as a busboy because they didn't have anything else available. And I did that job with so much enthusiasm and love that people always asked, "I can't believe you're the busboy." Now, in the meantime, I couldn't find a place to stay because there were so many different roommate situations that I had never incurred in my life as an adult that I had no idea what. And so I was sleeping on someone's couch for about 2 weeks when finally they had a friend who had a house that was empty but full of cats. And so I rented a room from someone who had a house full of cats. And so it was a very, very interesting situation. The house was very closed in. It was not completely finished, and it was thousands, I should say, or hundreds at least, of cats. And so imagine the situation of living there around all of these cats all the time. So it wasn't the most beautiful, you know, and it was a very, I want to say, a very growing time for me because I still did my job. I remember I had to take a shower at my friend's house because we didn't even have a shower, and the house would sometimes get so hot and get so smelly that I couldn't even take it. So I tried to spend as much time out of the house. I only went there to sleep. And so it was a very interesting situation that I'd never found myself in. But every day I went to work with a smile on my face. And so I was a busboy, and then I became a hostess, and then I became a waitress at another job. So I had 3 different jobs going on. And I said to myself, God, I know you've got something else in mind for me. And so it was at that time I started getting these messages, emails from a TV show in Kiev, and I had never even heard of Ukraine. I didn't know where it was, and I was ignoring them. And then one day something told me to read it. And the email was from a TV channel in Kiev who wanted me to try out for the show. Well, long story short, I ended up being a longtime finalist contestant of the International Psychic Challenge Ukraine, Kiev 2012, and I was one of the top finalists. And it was such an amazing experience. I ended up living there for about 7 months. And so I met so many wonderful people that I just love so much and who I really consider my family now. And so that experience also taught me a lot about ego, about forgiveness, and so many amazing things. But I went from a busboy to a TV star. And so that is how I got to where I am now, full of fire, full of, sparks, and ready to do and share the same thing with you. So I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. And I'm asking these questions, honestly, because I want you to really take some time and answer them for yourself, because it's important that you identify and allow yourself to really ignite your fire in a fair and honest way. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to take some moment, close your eyes, center in, and allow yourself to really ask yourself this question. So the first one is, do you have a hard time saying no to others? Yes or no? There's no in between. There's only a yes or a no. A lot of times when we are taking and not giving, or giving and not getting, we are unbalanced. So I want you to take a moment here. Just take a deep breath, and it's a yes or no answer. Now, I want to go a little bit into what this means. When you are giving all the time, your energy is unbalanced. And when your energy is unbalanced, you begin to leak energy. You begin to not hear your intuitive nudges. And as women, we give so much that we sometimes turn off our intuitive side so we can be constantly giving. But we also have to be on the side of receiving, so there is an equal balance. And as mothers, as women, as girlfriends, wives, sisters, daughters, we give so much of our energy and rarely reserve any for ourselves. And so it's important that we allow ourselves to really start filling our own cups. And so that's going to lead me right into our next question. And this is kind of a Q&A, because I really want you to connect with what your answer is and have something different to think about before we go into another exercise. So does standing up for what you want or don't want feel scary to you? Now, this is a really interesting question, because if you get scared of something, sometimes you can be so scared it's a leap of faith, and sometimes it could be you're so scared as an absolute no, and that's that intuitive nudging. When you're scared because you know you're about to take a leap of faith that you hadn't ever realized that you would take, that is a good scary. That's that kind of, I'm going to do it no matter what. I don't care what it looks like or how it looks. And when you just go for it and you're scared and you don't think you know everything, just kind of like this Google Hangout, I had no idea which way it was going to go, and I'm just going for it because, again, my spirit is telling me it's time for me to shine and serve, to teach, and to really get myself in a place of teaching and speaking. And so this is your opportunity, and that's why I'm doing this, because if you live in South Florida, you can actually come here to my home, and we have a weekly, or I'm sorry, bi-weekly check-in, or we have these Google Hangouts. And so, again, this kind of igniting your feminine fire, we're going to be a community of sparklers. We are going to be the sparklers and the shiners of the universe, or at least of our neighborhoods and our relationships and within our families. And so I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So standing up for yourself. You know, the reason it can also feel scary is because we're not prepared. And sometimes we want to just leap without looking. And our intuition, our spark, is telling us to make sure that we stay on the right path. And sometimes we go this way and sometimes we go that way. But the most important thing to remember is to stay on the path. And how you stay on the path is really through spiritual practice. Of course, there's those times when it feels like life is weighing so heavily down on you, but those are the times that you need your spiritual practice the most. That is when you should be praying, when you should be meditating, when you should even have prayer partnerships. And that's when someone prays for you and you pray for them, even verbally or through email, or, you know, however you decide. But that's something else I want to instill within all of us women, is to not see each other as competition, but to see each other as prayer partners, as sisters, as sparklers for each other. And so that's another reason that I decided to do this, because this is what speaks to my soul. I also had a minor in college in women's studies, and so the energy of the feminine, the goddess, that kind of, you know, our left side of the brain, and all of that energy is what really fueled me to want to do this and participate and have this amazing, you know, experience with you. And so I'm going to go right into the next question. When you say yes, do you say yes when you really mean no? It's kind of tied into the last question that I asked. Does it feel scary when you ask or when you stand up for yourself? And the reason that this question is so important is because when you say yes, when you really mean no, again, that is you giving away your power. And as women, we always throw ourselves under the bus. We always are sacrificing ourselves because we think then if we sacrifice, then we'll get this outcome. Or if we, you know, go this way, then we'll get this. How come we can't just have it all? How come there has to be a bargaining? How come there has to be a feeling attached to it other than gratitude and love? And so that's another practice I want to let go. I want to undo those conditions and those stories that we've been telling each other for the longest time. The stories you've told yourself, as well as those stories that you've told your loved ones. We want to cut those cords. We want to just, you know, disintegrate that energy, because that is not the energy that we want to be living from. We are living from a place of passion and of fire and of sparks and of flames. And that's why we're going to be sparkling and shining. And that's what this group and this, you know, time together will really afford you, you know, having a bi-weekly check-in, someone to make you accountable for your homework, someone who helps you stay on your spiritual path, and then someone who will also pick you up when you are feeling like you're weighing down and falling off of your spiritual path. That's what I'm here to help you do, by igniting your feminine fire and sparking your inner flame always, because sometimes it takes a little bit, you know, every day to bloom. You know, I think of it often as flowers, like a seed. So now we have the faith seed, and it's in the dirt right now. And what do we need to make that seed grow? We need water, we need love, we need sun, we need all these amazing things to make this, you know, this seed grow. And so this is the same seed that I'm growing for you. Igniting your feminine fire is really about rekindling that flame within you, lighting that expressive you and letting her out, all of who she is. And so I'm going to ask one more question before I tell you about some really cool exercises that I like to do with all of my clients. And then we'll get into a little bit of magical fun. So next question. Are you looking for love and cannot seem to find it? Now, this question comes up all the time. People are looking for love, and women especially, you know, we want, and I'm not saying men don't either. What I'm saying is we're wanting that perfect mate. We're wanting that perfect person to make us feel good. But the most important person we need to make feel good is us. And so that's another reason that I asked this question, because when we're looking for love, we need to be looking right here. We need to be looking at ourselves for our space of inspiration, our creativity, our, you know, our keeping our inner flame lit. Because if we give our power to someone else and give our light to someone else, then they're in control of our fire. But don't you deserve your own fire? Don't you deserve to have your own energy that fills you up instead of having it attached to someone else? And that's what igniting your your feminine fire is really all about, getting into that nitty-gritty so you can start to pull out some of those old habits and, in fact, really start to shift the energy and shift your mindset. It's really untraining the brain from some of the negative thinking that we've been conditioned to think for so long in our lives. So, whoo, I'm on a roll. I'm so excited. Let me get some water, and I'm also going to share with you a card. Now, I love Doreen Virtue's cards, and I use a lot of her decks, and I've been working on my own deck for quite a while. Excuse me. And I realize it does take a lot of work and a lot of effort. So I do like to use Doreen's cards, and something had told me tonight to pick an Archangel card. And this, I feel, is really about setting the tone for, you know, our feminine fire. Now, I should, you know, excuse me, I could have picked the Goddess cards, but something told me that the right energy is all we needed, and it doesn't matter if it's an archangel or an angel, because the archangels and the angels are asexual. They have no sex, because they are all one. Remember, you know, because we all are one, we also, when we reach a higher plane in life, and when we reach a higher plane, we don't see each other as separate, female and male. And that's what the angelic energy is. There is no sex between the angels. And so we got my absolute, I know that this is a blessed event, because, and it goes perfectly with tonight, and you heard me shuffling the cards, and it's remember who you are, Archangel Michael. You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. And I could not have picked a better card, and I promise you that I did shuffle the cards, and I'm sorry if you didn't hear me do that, but I did shuffle these cards, and that's going to lead us right into our next thing. So I've, in between, of course, trying to build my empire and have I always say I'm building my spiritual empire. But in between that, doing a deck, seeing clients, coming up with classes, I also have developed a healing technique, and it's called the Into You Intuitive Healing Technique, and I want to share it with you right now. It's been a work of love for me for many, 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 many years, and it really started when I started doing tapping. I love EFT, I love everything that it's brought to my life, and so I wanted to take it to another level, because I realized that I wanted to incorporate the chakra system. Now, I'm going to go through this very fast, but again, if you sign up for the Ignite Your Fire, Feminine Fire program, you will get a guidebook, and we will go through the tapping technique many, many times. But for tonight, I just want to show you so you can start to really look at it and see how you feel after this, okay? So let's go ahead. In this intuitive technique, what I wanted to do is to transform and heal the mind, body, and spirit, utilizing not just the tapping points that were from EFT, but the chakras, our energy centers, because this is where we create balance, vitality, healing, and harmony throughout our body, and helps really unlock any trapped energies, any trapped feelings or behaviors. And I've used this with many, many clients and have seen much success. And now I want to share it with you. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, go ahead and close your eyes. And so we're going to start tapping our feet. Just tap your feet on the floor. And as you're tapping, I want you to say to yourself in your mind, I release and refresh all of my energy. I am refreshed and I am renewed. I release the past and I'm refreshed in the new. Now we're going to move to the side of the hand like a karate chop. And I am open and allowing love, prosperity, peace, compassion, understanding, and healing to flow through my body. I am open and allowing peace, harmony, love, and through all of my relationships. Now we're going to move to the belly, and this is where they left off. You know, our belly, our gut feeling, our intuition, our power comes from our belly. And so here is faith and confidence. I have faith and confidence in myself. I trust and believe in myself. My inner guidance provides me the answers I seek. Nice deep breath. And let's move to the heart chakra. As I believe, I receive. I am open to receive love, peace, and healing now. All my needs are met. I am happy, whole, and complete. As I believe, I receive. Now to the throat. Now I can't do it too hard because I'm talking, but I'm allowing and aligning. As I allow and align and speak the truth, I accept my truth and only accept the truth. I am aligned with the truth of who and what I am. I'm allowing and aligning. Now next is the third eye. As I perceive, I achieve. I deserve my dreams, and my dreams deserve me. I dream, believe, and manifest my dreams now. And now we move to the top of the head. And this is my favorite, where you really feel it. I am filled with grace and gratitude. I am filled with grace and gratitude. As I give, I receive. All my needs are met. All my wants, needs, and desires are met with grace and ease. I am so grateful for my wonderful life. Take a nice deep breath. Allow yourself to feel what you feel. Allow yourself to feel the vibration. Now, do you see why I'm so excited about this igniting your feminine fire, sparking your inner flame? For all the details, please go to my website at www.tarotlifecoach.com if you are really ready to change your life. Don't you feel that vibration through your body? Let's go and do another round. I'm looking at the clock because I want to make sure, even though I was a few minutes late because of a technical error, I don't want to make you late. So we are going to wrap up exactly on time. So let's do another round of that. And let's pick whatever other side you didn't do. And let's again start with the feet. So I am refreshed and I am released. I am released and I am refreshed. Now start tapping on the side. I am open and allowing all of my good right now. I accept and I am open. And now to the belly. As I believe, I receive. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I have faith and confidence in myself. I have faith and confidence in myself. Now we move to the heart. As I believe, I receive. As I believe, I receive. And to the throat. As I allow, I align. And as I align with the truth and only the truth. And now the third eye. As I perceive, I achieve. As I perceive, I achieve. And the top of the head. I am so grateful for all of my needs being met. I am so grateful for all my needs being met. How good it is. How grateful I am. I let it be. Yes. And take a nice deep breath. Allow yourself to feel the vibration. Take a moment and I will let you write down anything that you felt. And if you have any questions or want to learn more about the Into You healing technique, please send me an email at tarot, T-A-R-O-T, lifecoach@gmail.com. Let me know how you felt after we did the 2 rounds of tapping. And again, if you, healing technique. And if you really felt something shifting in your body, imagine if you're doing that every day, a few times a day, and then someone's sending you a Sparkette text or email, and you're also doing your journal work and your homework, and you have a supportive group of women that are also doing this with you. Doesn't that feel so good? That feels so amazing. And if you go over to my website, www.tarotlifecoach.com, you can find out all the details. But I've got some bonuses that I want to share with you. So the first bonus I'll give you, and I'm going to give you 2 more bonuses. So if you hang out until the end, you'll get the other bonuses, and I'm going to share another exercise with you, because that healing technique is something I've been working on for many years. Like I said, I am also a yoga teacher, and so I'm always aligning with the chakras and the energy and the breath work, and I wanted to bring all those elements in, as well as connecting in with that intuitive energy that is the feminine fire, that is the spark between us all. And so the first bonus I would really like to give you too is a 4-week trial to the Tarot Life Coach Into You Intuitive Healing Cards app. Yes, I do have an app, and when you sign up for the intensive of the Ignite Your Feminine Fire monthly program, you will get a 4-week trial of the Into You Intuitive Healing Cards app. And so that's bonus number 1. And so I wanted to also make sure that if you do have any questions, again, or if you have any comments about the video, about the tapping technique, and want to learn more, I can also teach you the tapping technique for your individualized experience and for whatever your own individualized needs, if you need that. And you can find all the information, again, on my website at www.tarotlifecoach.com. But let's get into one of my favorite exercises. And I love to share this, again, with all of my clients. And some of my clients, if you're listening in now, you know what it is. One of my favorite things is the love shower. I love the love shower. And the reason I love the love shower and prescribe it to all of my clients is because it really sets the tone for your day. And it also really starts to shift your energy, bringing in positive and loving energy that you need and releasing any negative energy. And that's another thing. I love to do very cool, very, fun activities. I call them homework, for you to do, that I do myself, that I do, and I have used it with hundreds and hundreds of people. So I know that they work. So the first one or my favorite one, is the love shower. So in the love shower, what the love shower is, when you're in the water, you're in the shower, and you're feeling the water coming down, I love myself. I love my belly. I love my arms. I love my butt. I love my toes. I love my skin. I love my teeth. I love my lungs. I love my organs, my esophagus, my stomach, my thyroid, my ears. Just love all over your body. And if there's anything negative that needs to come off of you, anything negative that you need to let go of, let it go down the drain. Just to say goodbye, no more, I don't need you anymore. And you know what's really effective is if you do a round of the healing technique and then take a shower, and you do the healing technique from the top to the bottom. That way you really are releasing it. And that's another cool thing with my healing technique is you can start either at the top and work your way down, or you can build up your energy and work from the ground up like we just did. So if in the morning with the love shower, if you want, you could start the tapping and saying how grateful you are and work your way down. And so that's another cool thing about my healing technique that I want to share with you as far as getting you ready, getting your spark ignited, and lighting your fire. Another one of the cool things that I'm going to be sharing with you also is the Sparkler newsletter. Every other week you will get a Sparkler newsletter, and the other 2 weeks we will have a live question and answer, either hangout or here in person at my home in South Florida. So you get to either see me in person or see me on Google Hangout. But we do have this every other week kind of connection, which is another amazing part of this amazing thing that came to me as a vision, and now I'm sharing it with you, igniting your feminine fire, sparking your inner flame. So the love shower is such an amazing and wonderful experience because it really starts to cover you with so much love, so much light, and you are then releasing constantly unforgiveness, resentment, and fear, doubt, worry, but at the same time, as you are loving yourself, you are bringing in all this amazing energy to yourself, and that starts to be your armor, your cloak, your aura is love, because you have just showered yourself with love and saying how much you love your whole self. And when you walk out into the world, that energy starts to ripple around you. And so you'll start to see things change in your life. You'll start to see, people smiling at you, and, you're losing weight very easily. You are also, money is coming in from unexpected sources. You're feeling happy. Things are really starting to shift in your life. And that's because the vibration of love is all around you. And so that is one of my favorite things that are exercises that I share with all of my clients. And my beloved Maya Angelou died last week, and in my video, my weekly YouTube video on my channel, tarotlifecoach.com, I was really saddened, and I did take a moment, and I actually cried for Maya, because the same day that I launched this program, I found this quote, and I actually got it from President Obama, and it is, "Nothing can dim the light from within." That is Maya Angelou at her best, and that was a quote that I got from looking at President Obama's, acknowledgement of the wonderful woman that Maya Angelou was, as well as her message. And again, nothing can dim that fire within, nothing. And that's, again, another reason that I wanted to share this program and all the things that I use with all of my clients. I want to be here for you and help you, again, on your spiritual path, and give you other outlets and exercises, because of course it's easy to pick up a book, it's easy to go to church, but how about doing this on a daily basis with some sisters that can support you and a coach that's going to coach you through it? Because doing it, spirituality doesn't have to be a singular event. It can be an embracing in a community. And if you don't want to be in a community or not close to a spiritual community, let this be your spiritual community, where you have your sisters, and we're going to grow and expand to single mothers, as well as to teens and to men. And, you know, this is all about us keeping each other lit up from the inside. None of these things on the outside, because none of these things on the outside really matter. And again, it's that fire within that keeps us going. So another exercise, last one, I wanted to share with you before we close up tonight is the money story. Now, this can be an amazing shift and healer. And I've never shared this online or even in my videos. I wanted to save it for tonight. But this is something I've been really working on as well with clients, because the money story and how this is connected to our feminine fire, again, is we don't think a lot of times that we deserve to be paid for things that we do. Okay, one of the hardest working jobs, of course, is being a mother, and we don't get paid for that, but we get paid for it with spiritual checks, spiritual benefits, and those spiritual gifts that we share with our children, with our loved ones, with our family, with our friends, are what I'm talking about. So, of course, you don't get paid for being a mother, a sister, a wife, you know, a best friend, but you get spiritual food from that. You get spiritual benefits. And so, again, but we have to keep our own fires lit up. We have to keep our own flame going. And how do we do that? A lot of times we don't give ourselves or even pay attention to the things that we need to feed ourselves, our spiritual food, and sparking our inner flame, that divine flame within us. It also needs sprinkles. It needs, you know, water. It needs love. It needs attention. And as one of my favorite and beloved teachers said, what you put your attention on grows. So why not take this time now to allow your spiritual, inner, sensual fire flame? Why not allow yourself to shine bright? Why not allow your spiritual side to really expand? Because it will help you lose weight. It will increase your intuition. It will also increase your faith and confidence. And it will also connect you to that divine wisdom that is within each and every one of us. And as women, as the Divine Mother, we have a very strong connection to being what that means as a mother and as nurturing. Well, how about doing that for yourself? It's time for you to mother yourself. And that's why I really wanted to share some of these things with you. So let's talk about this money story. So the money story is the story that each and every one of us has with money. And this story is often a story of what we don't have and what we wish we had. And I want to help you change that story. I want to show you that there is another way of being and expressing your money energy. And so I've come up with this exercise. And so what it is really the money story is kind of a letter, but it's a story, your story, about money. Your ups, your downs, your fears, your doubts, your worry, all of your energy about money goes into this. So I'm going to read you what I wrote. And this is just kind of a beginning. And we can really go deeper into this, and we will throughout our the Ignite Your Feminine Fire program. So, dear money, thank you for providing for me. I draw to me everything I deserve now and in all directions of time and space. I am grateful to have you, to live the life that I love. I am so grateful for all of the lessons you have taught me, all of the experiences I have had, places I have gone, and things I have bought. Thank you for showing me how the exchange of money and the exchange of energy are two very important things in this spiritual path. Thank you for showing me that my value is much higher in myself than it is in your piece of paper. Thank you for allowing me to see who I am and how I value myself has nothing to do with what I have in the bank. So you see where I'm going with that. And so the reason I wanted to do that is because it's an important thing. We don't talk about money, and we don't talk about it as a spiritual practice. And the reason I like to talk about money as a spiritual practice is because of all of the energy we have connected to it. Remember the card we got, Archangel Michael. Remember who you are. You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. And if that is the case, then why shouldn't we have prosperity? Why shouldn't we have abundance and be living the life that we truly want and deserve? And so that is some of the practices and some of the things that we'll be doing in the Ignite Your Feminine Fire. This program is for you. If you, again, want to attract into your life the love of your life by being the love of your life, we will do mirror work where you're looking into your own beautiful eyes and saying how much you love yourself and how much you value yourself. And that is very much connected to the money story. And so we'll also be doing love lotion. We'll be also doing prayer calls. So I want to tell you about another amazing bonus. Another bonus that I'm having is a free copy of my book, The Happy Healing Handbook, when you sign up tonight. So I'm going to give you the whole rundown. So this is what you get. The two bonuses so far: a free copy of the Happy Healing Handbook by me, Tanya Melendez. You'll also get a free 4-week trial of the Into You Healing Cards app. You'll also get a Sparkler newsletter every other week. You'll also get an every other week Google Hangout. You'll also get homework and assignments. And a special bonus if you sign up before Friday, or I'm sorry, not before Friday, before Saturday. If you sign up by Saturday, midnight, June 7th, is the Mercury retrograde. So we don't want to start anything new at the Mercury retrograde. So until then, this entire thing and the final bonus is a 30-minute Sparkle Set Go session, 30-minute intuitive session with me, all for $72. Now, that price is only going until June 7, 2014 at midnight because, again, we don't want to start anything new after Mercury retrograde, and it's retrograde until July 1st. So if you are thinking this sounds perfect, I would love to do this, let's get started. We're going to do 28 days, a full moon cycle, because that is where your energy is going to shift. So we will be starting this next Thursday, the 12th, during that beautiful full moon energy that we'll be harnessing till our next full moon. So this 28-day program is $72. So you'll get 2 Google Hangouts, 2 Sparkler newsletter, 3 daily text or Sparkle emails or text messages, a 30-minute Spark Set Go session, a copy of my book, and a copy of the app for $72. Again, I just want to share with you because this is my time to shine and serve. So let me serve you. Let me be your coach, your guru, your accountability person. Let me show you how to reignite and ignite that fire within you, feminine women, and within all of your feminine side with all of your girlfriends. So again, invite everybody. You can do this either from home, or if you live in South Florida, come and meet me. Get to come into the comfort of my home, and you'll meet other sparklers, as well as, again, we'll be growing the group and adding more flavors to it. But how about now? Let this be your summer vacation into you. Let you commit yourself for 28 days to something that can totally change your life. Oh yeah, and don't forget also, you'll have the Into You healing technique that you can use throughout the rest of your life. So again, if any of this speaks to you, please check out my website at www.tarotlifecoach.com. If you have any questions, any comments, you're ready to sign up, send me an email at tarotlifecoach@gmail.com. I'm just so grateful and so blessed and so honored to share some of the things that I use with my clients and things that I've used over time to really, help people grow and heal and dream, believe, and manifest in their lives. So let me share that same thing with you. So again, class starts June 12th. We only have the 72 hour special, 72 hours $72. It goes away on June 7th with that Mercury retrograde. We don't want to start anything new. So again, nice deep breath. I'm just so grateful for this divine time, for this divine connection, and for this divine Google Hangout. Thank you, technology. Thank you for everyone who watches and for everyone who listens. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I release these words knowing all is well, and so are we. So I love you. I send you love and light. Again, sign up, ignite your fire. It's time to do more than spark your flame. It's time to know that you deserve to have your light, because remember, nothing can dim a light that is lit from within. Until next time, everybody, peace and blessings. Signing out, Tarot Life Coach.